And one can see from the audience of people that were there, these people remained glued to their chairs and wanted to absorb every bit of information that was being provided. So clearly, education is something for which there is a glowing need. I know that many of my American colleagues would not be able to make the trip to Sudan for various other reasons. On your third from your right here, we have Professor Femi Adelowo. He is the only rheumatologist in Nigeria in a population of 154 million people. Right? With him, there are 6 other younger trainees, 3 of whom have spent some time with us or 4 of whom have spent time with us in South Africa. And so we hope that in the next year, the number will increase from 1 to 7. So there'll be a 7-fold increase in rheumatologists in Nigeria. And I was also participated in the first West African meeting, rheumatology meeting in May last year, where there were about 50 delegates, of whom about 8 rheumatologists, including people from Cameroon as well as Ghana. So the challenges as far as human resources are concerned, and these are 2 of our colleagues from Cameroon. Now, with respect to the community, you know, we've been invited to present lectures to the community in rural areas. And time prevents me from showing you the journey to get to these rural areas. But what is done is the spirit of the health professionals in the area. This is a tent that was set up for a community awareness program. And we had people like Tombi Futi, our patient delegate, addressing patients in the local language. And you can see once again, people are very keen and enthusiastic about attending these kind of meetings. And as part of these meetings, we include a session on exercise, because after people are sitting for about half an hour, 45 minutes, they get a bit restless, and we can see that we actually get people participating. And locals are very grateful, and they reward us for coming out and making their time available by entertaining us with their local traditional dancing programs. This is another meeting that we had with the community in southern part of KwaZulu-Natal last year, and one can see we utilized some of our nursing staff as well as our patient delegates to address the community in the local language. Now, what about the future? Capacity, you know, we know that the Global Fund for Communicable Diseases had a considerable impact on diseases like HIV and tuberculosis. Hundreds of millions of dollars have poured into even South Africa for making an impact on these diseases. But with this has come a tremendous amount of infrastructure that has been developed in terms of health professionals, delivery. South Africa currently has nearly about 900,000 people who are receiving antiretroviral treatment, which is the largest ARV rollout program in the world. So there's logistics are in place to support this, and we need to try and piggyback on some of these for other areas of chronic diseases as well. In terms of original research, I think about 6 weeks ago, all of you may have watched on CNN, ABC, all major TV networks around the world, is the new microbicide gel that was developed for prevention of HIV. And this work was funded by agencies from the United States, and the original work as well as the development of the gel all took place at our institution in Durban. So there are clearly skills available to undertake these projects, and it's no more the question of just piggybacking on international agencies, but rather developing capacity and initiating the work locally. As far as the XDR-TB, you may have heard, extreme drug resistance, again, we have a notoriety for being a leader in terms of identifying all the bad things. I mean, the first major epidemic was also from our part of the world. Other challenges we face is a patient was referred to us with a 12-year-old boy with deformities of the fingers, and he had a rash, a depigmented rash on his legs, and was referred to us as a possible juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Now, for some of the older clinicians and those working in developing countries, one of the first things that you do is you take a little pin and you strike the pin on the depigmented area, and you find that it's anesthetic. This boy had leprosy, and the changes that he had in his hands were due to neurological disease and not arthritis, because he was able to make a full fist. And then a patient coming in with swollen knees, when you examine the feet, you find psoriasis. Psoriasis is extremely rare in the black population. Do an HIV test, it comes back positive. We know that HIV is associated with increased prevalence of psoriasis. And this is another more explosive form of psoriasis that you get in association with HIV, and these are patients that present to us with arthritis. So I believe that together we can make a difference. There is structures, there are skills available. Clearly there are challenges with respect to human resources. And I think that as far as developing countries are concerned, it's not handouts that we are seeking, but clearly there are areas where we can be assisted. Bill Gates is certainly one of our regular visitors. Almost annually he's at our institution because he's providing considerable amount of support for the HIV programs that are being conducted there. Thank you.